Turn on your screens, let the
Okay, we are
magic
live. If you
unfold.
can share,
Listening and healing as stories are told.
do you have our
Come
Facebook
on,
page? Are you
come
following our Facebook
on,
page?
this is your time.
Honestly,
No topics too
sometimes
tough,
I'm
just
following
heed
it. I know
the
it's always
call. For
coming on my
mental
feed,
health won't
but I'm
stop
not
just
sure
as
if I'm
we
like
seek.
following.
Together we
Okay.
rise
Okay,
for the
that's fine.
strong
That's fine.
and the weak.
I can share it.
A safe space for all. Let's lift every voice.
Let me just share it to audience and let's go.
In a circle podcast where hearts unite.
Oh, you have a team song.
Sharing our truths,
I'm just
bringing
Yeah.
noticing
hope to
this.
the light.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
Community
that's
Yeah,
pretty
strong, we're
neat.
never
we do, we
alone.
do, we do, we do.
Together
That's
as
pretty
one,
neat.
we've created a home.
So, uh,
With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the call. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a circle podcast where love is well known.
okay, thanks everyone. Thanks to our audience. Thanks to those joining us today. We appreciate you. Again, this is our special edition of our weekly business and finance fire chat, as we call it. Today, I have a special guest who's a business consultant, a young entrepreneur into so many things. You know, she's a hustler, basically. You know, I have Miss Joey with me. She's a business consultant, as I said. She has a real estate license. You know, she does home buying and purchasing in Minnesota. So, we're going to be diving into various topics, various business and finance topics. So, before then, you know, for those who are finance junkies or business junkies like me, you know, like today, the monthly, you know, jobs report came out, and like the U.S. economy basically like created like 250,000 jobs. You know, what I mean that's a big deal because like it affects everything, you know, going on in the economy, whether you feel good about it or not. But that is something that kind of affect out of us, and especially like as immigrants, we look to these things to, you know, you need jobs in this country to basically get things going. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So now, Miss Joey, I'll give you the opportunity to kind of just introduce yourself, tell our audience who you are and things like that, and then we can just try to get some insight from you, what you do, how you
Okay.
guys started, and your business experience, and maybe your advice for others. But just introduce yourself quick, please.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be on here. Thank you, AB, for the invite, and it's a pleasure. So I'm Jerry Merchant, and I'm a business owner and a realtor here in Minnesota, and I also do business consulting. So I've been doubling or getting my hands into a lot of different type of businesses over the years, and it's just something I love and I'm passionate about. And I
Okay.
also have a background in finance. I did financial advising for a little bit, just helping with investment, 401k, Roth,
Hmm.
um, health insurance, long-term care insurance, life insurance. So I did all of that right out of college.
Okay.
And yeah, so and I have a little background in marketing as well. So with my consulting thing, I mostly just help with like mindset coaching because a lot of the times people get stuck. It's like they have an idea
Hmm.
and or they want to start a business but they don't know how to or where to. It's like a lot of mental block. So
Yeah.
that's where I step in as a coach to help people move past those block and see how they can turn the ideas into profit.
Oh wow, that's great. That's great to hear. So it's like, so how long have you been doing your coaching?
I would say 5 years.
Okay. And
Yeah.
do you charge fees for your coaching, or just, I mean, do you offer that as a free service, or you charge for that?
No, it's not free.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
how much do you usually charge? If I want to establish a business and I need coaching and I don't know where to start, if I call on you, like how much do you normally charge for
It,
our folks?
it varies though. The packages varies because I have packages. So to just say 1,005 to 5,000, depending on
Okay.
what you want. Yeah.
Okay. So like a 1,005 package, what does that include?
Just the basics, like regular setup, like getting your EIN, business, banking, how to what kind of bank should you be seeking, and just like I see a lot of people who have the ideas, they don't know how to turn those ideas into profitable ideas, and just like helping you make it solid
Yeah.
and like it's narrowing down what makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you want to go like if you want in-depth thing where I help you with like business funding, business credit, where I'm gonna like hold your hands through the process from like start to end,
Yeah.
then it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more.
What's about like business plan? Do you like help with business plan, like to writing a business plan? Or
I outsource that one. I reach out to people who are experts in that. I can do it, but I just
okay,
rather reach out to somebody who is like that's their expertise
okay,
in it. Yeah, but I have like resources and people. That's all they do.
okay, sounds fair. But like the
Yeah.
funding piece, I want to kind of a deep dive a little bit into that. Like, if you like, do you provide the funding or you direct folks where to get the funding? If I don't have a good credit or someone wants to, it's like okay, trying to establish a business, but I don't have the funding, and then my credit is not good. In our community, right, our immigrant
Yeah.
community, right, most of
Yeah.
us, like, those are challenges that we face. I mean,
Exactly.
how do you go
Exactly.
about addressing those?
So when it comes to business funding, I don't provide the funding. Obviously, I'm not a bank.
Sure, sure, sure. I just,
So I
I
just
don't
like point people in the right direction. And as you said, like credits play a major, major role.
yeah,
I'm not saying you can get a fundings with bad credit. However, you are limited to your options that is
okay,
available to you. So
okay,
it's advisable. The first step is to like just work on getting your credit in a decent place
hmm,
because a lot of the times it's how the business will work. They judge you based on your personal credit. Even though you get in a business funding, but your personal credit also play a very, very big role in
yeah,
our process.
okay, okay. What was the inspiration for you going into business? I mean, becoming an entrepreneur. I mean, what was the inspiration for you?
You know how people say some leaders are born and some leaders are made. I feel like I'm just one of those born entrepreneurs. Is something
Okay,
that I grew up around. I've always been that kid since I was little,
sure.
selling stuff to neighbors or to because I'm a pastor kid. Both my parents were pastors, so I'm always surrounded by people, just
Okay,
basically selling candies to people in the church. So I've
okay,
always been that person, and I've always seen myself as that person. Even through college, when I go
hmm,
for job fair and stuff like that, I
yeah,
always knew my end goal was to be a business owner, was to
yeah,
own companies and be
yeah.
that person.
Okay. And since you became an entrepreneur, what are some of the challenges you have faced in your personal journey? Obviously, you're a female, and then like you're a person of color. What are some of the challenges that you can share with our audience?
One, I would say being an immigrant and just navigating through the business or the financial landscape in
Sure.
America because I'm now originally from here and I did not grow up here.
Okay.
So yeah, just understanding how things work in the US and how I can adapt. I feel
Yeah.
like that's one of the biggest challenge because I think I told you like I do a lot of networking
Sure.
and when I'm in these spaces,
Yeah.
just finding my way and trying to navigate and see how I fit in these spaces
Okay.
and what value do I bring or add in these spaces.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say one of that is one of the biggest or major like
Okay. When did
challenge.
you move to the U.S.? You say you're an immigrant. When did you move to the U.S.? And how long have you been here?
I think I've been here almost 12 years now.
12 years. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like I was born here or something, but
Obviously, I would have never known that. I mean, like that you only moved here like 12 years ago. But
yeah, like
that's and then where did you go to college?
so I went to the University of North Dakota. I went to
Okay.
UND. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I went to school.
Okay. And then right after college, you started as an entrepreneur right away, or you got a job?
So throughout college, I was doing a little bit of business. When I was in college, I know I did at that time the Amazon selling the AKDB or whatever thing had just started.
Okay.
So I was doing that through college and I will buy books that
Hmm.
students didn't need anymore
Hmm.
and I would sell it on Amazon. And so when I was in college, I was still and I was doing digital books as well, just mostly online.
Okay.
And then what but still I was doing internship with this financial company and then right after college they offered me a full-time job.
Okay. And how long
Yeah,
did you do that for? How long did you work
I
for?
would say 3 4 years.
Okay. Okay.
Because the whole financial word is kind of like you building your book of business.
Yeah.
So when I was in Grand Forks, I had that. It's like
Okay.
because I knew people. That's where I started. So
Okay.
then when we moved back to Minnesota, it's like I was starting to build my book of business
Sure.
all over again, and then it didn't take long. COVID started, and then most of my clients I was getting into networking and referrals. It was
Sure.
really difficult to get that going with COVID and me being limited to meeting people.
Sure. 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 Do you do like networking in our community? Because I think like right as immigrants, especially Liberians, both of us are Liberians.
Mhm.
Financial literacy is not our strong suit. Do you reach out to Liberians to try to, hey man, I do financial advising or I do business consulting? Do you reach out to our community?
That's one of the things I need to work on. Honestly, most of my things have been outside of the Liberian community. If I'm being
What?
honest with you,
Okay.
yeah. So I feel like I need to get involved more with the
Yeah.
Liberian community because I'm not really involved.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
mean, as I said, right, our challenges is financial literacy. I think, to me personally, right, that's what I think. I think financial education is the best education because it goes a long way in trying to, grant you to do a lot of things here, especially in America, right? So I think
Yeah.
if we can just do that outreach to educate our people, I know some of us, a lot of us are shy away from that. So I think, right, I would encourage you as as a financial advisor to kind of,
Okay.
reach out to the community and, and just provide your
I
insight.
feel like it's needed. It's really
Yeah,
needed because even when I work with that financial frame, I work with a couple of Liberians,
yeah.
and it was really discouraging and disappointing.
Okay.
Like Liberians, we do make a lot of money. Like I'm not
Sure.
kidding you. Like
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
I met, they have really good income.
Sure.
However, a lot of these people did not have anything safe.
Yeah.
They did not have any investment. They didn't have like it was so I feel like it's really, really, really needed in our
Okay.
community. I just
Okay.
need to be better at reaching out
Yeah.
more.
So, like, if someone is looking at doing an investment, what kind of a investment advice will you get? And if I want to maybe like, if I want to, you will say should go the real estate route, should go the stock market route, or I mean, what kind of investment advice will you get?
So for someone, it's always best to start with your 401k. It's right there. Your job is already offering that. Like you
Mm-hmm.
cannot beat that. That's why I always tell people because a lot of job is already giving you a match.
Mm-hmm.
Just take advantage because it's already there. You can just easily have it automatically coming out of your paycheck. And then once you are consistent with that and you've built some kind of like money in there, you can go on to other things. But I would say your 401k would be the best place to start. If you don't have a 401k, you can always do a Roth. And because I know a lot of entrepreneurs or business owners do not have that offer to them, so they have to do their own investings on the side or through a financial advisor or broker. So I would say for a regular employee, 9 to 5, it's always best to start with your 401k because a lot of people want to go into real estate.
Yeah.
However, it does not make sense for everybody
Sure. Sure.
because you cannot
Wow.
have $1,000 in your bank account
Mm-hmm.
and you want to do real estate and you end up taking a loan or maybe whatever to go put $50,000 down or more
Sure.
for a property that's just going to cash flow you $500.
Okay.
If you understand what I mean.
I know. Yeah, but I mean
Yeah.
you're going to go right, educating our folks. But you said if someone cannot invest in their 401k, they should go the Roth route. Someone who doesn't have that financial background, can you explain what a Roth is? I mean, in a layman Liberian term, I guess.
So Roth is kind of like a 401k, but they can have some Roth that's offered to your employee, but a lot of the times it's not offered to your employees, offered through financial frames. A
Sure.
lot of people who have financial literacy would do it on their own and go online and invest themselves. But for
Sure.
people who don't have that, you go through a financial advisor and the literally will hold your hands and tell you what kind of stocks to it's just basically investing in the stock market.
Okay.
So instead of you trying to figure it out on your own, and it's kind of like a retirement plan for a layman term. It's a retirement plan, and it's pre-tax. So when you take your money out of it, it's not going to be taxed when you withdraw your money out of it.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
put your money in there, whatever amount. A lot of the times when you meet with an advisor, they will have you do a budget
Sure.
and tell you what makes sense and what you can afford, because they don't want you putting all of your money in there and then you have to come back and say, hey, I don't think I can continue. So a lot of the time, a professional advisor will do a budget with you expenses. They will go through everything that's going in and out of your household and
Mhm.
tell you, okay, this is how much I think you can afford to put in this account.
Okay. Okay. Like one of the phenomena in our community, right? You will see a lot of folks, oh yeah, I have some money in my 401k. Let me go and take it out.
Mhm.
What's your advice on that? Do you have any advice to offer folks? Is that something you advise someone? Hey, mate, I have 100,000 in my account. Maybe I want to buy a house. Should you tap into that, even though it's a retirement? 401k should be. A lot of financial advisors would say, don't touch it. Let it be there no matter what. What's your take on that?
So my business brand, it go either way. So if you're
Yeah.
just gonna take your money out of your 401k to buy a house, that's not a good investment.
Okay. Okay.
But if you're gonna take money out of your 401k, it should be for, you shouldn't even want to take money out of your 401k. That's the first thing. However, if you're going to use it in a cash flowing investment or business, because you know, okay, even though I'm taking this money out,
Mhm.
however, I'm going to put it in a business that's going to cash flow me money so I
Mhm.
can put it back. Because you know, with the 401k, you can loan money to yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
if you loan that money to yourself, it should be for a cash flowing assets. It shouldn't be a liability,
Okay.
because a house technically for an average person is a liability. So it makes no sense to take money out of your 401k to put it in a house.
Hmm. I mean, that's a loaded one, right? That you said a house is a liability. A lot of immigrants would say, you know what, I'm buying a house, an asset. I can get money out of it maybe anytime. It's like, and you saying it's a liability. Can you expand on that a little bit?
So when you look at liability is anything in the current in the present moment that's not bringing you income.
Yeah.
So if you look at the house,
Uh-huh.
if you live in your house, you buy a house, okay. If house is one of those things that is like, when you look at an investment diagram or whatever, is there
Hmm.
as an asset in a liability. But I say for the everyday average person, your
Sure.
house is not bringing you any income unless you buy that house as an investment property, maybe like a duplex or a fourplex where you live in one, and
Yeah.
then maybe your renters are paying you something. But if it's
Yeah.
just a single family home, it's
Yeah.
technically a liability at that point, because you're pouring mortgage into this property, and it's not it's not giving you anything back in return until you decide to sell it.
Okay.
And even if you decide to sell it, you have to wait a certain amount of years for it to make sense financially, for you to be able to have some kind of equity out of it. If you
Hmm.
don't wait a certain period of time, you end up losing money. So that's where I see it as a liability for the average like person if you're not buying it as an investment property.
So it's like, a lot of us out here want to buy homes. It's like your advisors. If you're not buying it as an investment, don't do it, or what? I mean, or it depends on your.
I'm not saying you don't own a house.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. But to just buy the house and be like,
Buying,
okay,
but
just
okay,
because I'm buying a house,
buying versus renting. I mean, a lot of folks in our community want to buy, right? Is it buying versus renting? Which one would you recommend as your financial advisor?
I would say buy. Because even though right now this house is not giving you anything, but it's a possibility you could sell it and have some kind of equity out of it. Unlike renting, you cannot sell, it's somebody else's property.
Okay,
If you understand where I'm coming from. So I'm not discouraging people from buying. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy. I'm not saying this house cannot make you money.
sure.
But just if you're looking at it from an investment standpoint, within a current, if you just like right now day to day,
Uh-huh.
if you pay mortgage on a house day to day right now, it's not an asset until you decide to sell and make money out of it. That's when the asset. But I'm not saying buy all day long. It makes way more sense than owning somebody's property and paying mortgage on it. However,
Mm-hmm.
in as much as I'm a realtor and I make money when people buy houses, I
Mm-hmm.
always love to tell people it has to make sense for you.
Okay. Okay.
It has to make sense financially, because a lot of people are house poor.
Sure.
They're
Sure.
buying houses, they're struggling to pay everything else because why? They didn't make wise decisions when they just want a house.
Okay.
Okay, you have the house. Now you cannot even afford to pay the mortgage on the house. So it does not make sense if you just want to buy the house just because you want a house.
Okay.
And a lot of times what people would do is they take advantage of the FHA loan where they buy the house
Mm-hmm.
and stay in there for maybe 2 years, put it on the rent, buy another house, stay in there for 2 years. You put it because you can go up to 3 properties for FHA.
Okay.
So if you're doing that, it makes sense for people looking to invest. So
Sure.
this is not for everybody. If you're just looking to buy a house and stay in there for 30 years, that's fine
Sure.
because it's yours. You can always sell it and walk away with some type of equity out of
Okay.
that property.
Okay. Okay. What is a FHS loan for someone for the education of our audience? You know, a lot of folks, I said we did. What is a FHS loan?
So it's just a government backed loan.
Okay.
Specifically, when the government created our loan, they were looking at people who low income want to have house but can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think the income limit has increased over the years.
Okay.
So it's
Do you
not
know? Do you know what the current income limit is? If someone want to utilize or take advantage of a FHA loan?
I think it goes up to 800,000 if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I know the limits increase every year.
Okay.
So
So if
with
you
that
want
kind of
to, if you
limit,
want to buy $800,000 home, you can utilize like a FHA loan. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying? Okay.
yeah, it goes. I would look for the exact numbers, but I know it go that high for
Okay.
certain people. But I
Okay.
know for sure it don't go over certain millions. Yeah.
Okay. Well, folks, if you are listening out there and you want to be part of this conversation, our phone number is 612-516-3349. It is our weekly business and finance fire chat. And today we are chatting with Ms. Joey Merchant. She's a business consultant, you know, real estate agent. She has a real estate license in Minnesota. So if you're looking to buy a home, she could be a good resource. And then she's also a young entrepreneur who got her hands into so many things, you know, financial advising, business consultancy. If you need help with marketing, if you have a business, and you need help with marketing, maybe you know, Sako even reach out to you, right, to market us out there, right? We could utilize your services, right, to market us. So I think you are into so many things. So, folks, if you want to join the conversation, you can call us on 612-516, and also you can, 516-3349, and you can leave comments on here. So, the other thing I was going to go back to, right, is a 401k. The one thing, you know, we're discussing about that earlier. You have a lot of us Liberians, hey, like maybe I want to do a business back in Liberia. I want to take money from my 401k to go do business in Liberia. What would you say to folks who want to do that?
No, that's a big no.
Okay. Why?
Because it's like a lot of the times people want to do business.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, everybody, I want to do business. I want to do business. But a lot of times people don't even have a plan.
Mm,
They just want to do something.
sure.
And then they take all of the money. I'll see a lot of people do that. They take the money out to go over there to blow it in no time.
Hmm.
And they
Yeah.
don't even use it for what they even intended to use it for. And
Sure.
now you come back, you have to start from zero.
Yeah.
And that was just a waste.
Okay. Okay.
So I want to advise you to take money out of your 401k to go Liberia to do business, especially when you don't even have a clear plan of what you want to do. It's just not it just don't make sense.
Okay. Makes sense. That's fair. And then the other things too, I want to like. Besides, I know you mentioned your challenges earlier that you have faced as an entrepreneur. What are some of the things you have enjoyed being an entrepreneur?
For me, everything is time freedom,
Okay.
like just being able to have control over my own time and basically my own life in general.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's one of the biggest benefits to being a business owner or entrepreneur.
Okay.
And also just being able to call something your own and being able to see the vision and being able to say, okay, I can grow this to something that's mine,
Hmm.
and how I can expand this to into a multi-million dollar business. I cannot expand another person business into that, but I can do that with my own.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, that's a huge benefit right there, right? The freedom to call your own shot, to be your own boss. Now, does any of your businesses do you have employees or you just do this solo?
We have employees.
Mm, okay.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Your business consulting, is that, are you doing it all by
Oh, the
yourself? Yeah.
consulting one is just me. Sometimes I'll collaborate. Like right now, I'm collaborating with one of my friends. I'm
Okay.
writing an ebook, so we're creating this course, and
Okay.
then we're gonna sell it. So I'm
What is it?
collaborating with somebody on that.
What is the ebook about?
So this one of it's gonna be focused on business funding and business credit. The other one is gonna basically be walking you through the whole entire process and step on how to start an assisted living business.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the other one is gonna be other home health care services.
Okay. When is
Yeah.
that? When is it? When should we be expecting that? That's a great. I mean, those are great initiatives. When should we be expecting those?
So next month, hopefully, I'm done. I started the process, but I just been really busy. But I'm hoping I give myself a timeline to be done by next month and have it published and running going.
Okay, okay. With all these things you have going on, I know you got a lot of ventures going on, the business consultancy and then now the ebook. Do you have? I know you talk about the freedom, right? But do you have any time for yourself to, just do fun stuff?
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned over the years, and that's one thing I prioritize.
Sure.
Like I love to have a balance
Okay.
because you that's one thing when you have to understand yourself as a person
Sure.
because it's easy to just get so tied up in the work and you burn out and you just go 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 go. You should
Hmm.
always find that balance, and that's one
Hmm.
thing I feel like I'm really good at. In how
Hmm.
much I will ground and I will go after the goals and I will work. However, I still make time for myself, and the gym is one of my biggest one.
Okay.
Every morning at least, even if it's not every day, I go like 3 to 5 times a day. That's like a therapy or um a way for me to make time for myself. Because when I'm in there's no kid. I'm there
Sure.
listening to my music and doing what I
Okay.
gotta do and
Okay.
stuff like that. And I also do a lot of reading. Like
Okay.
I educate myself a lot on different things.
Okay.
And I love to go out with friends as well. So I do make time for myself.
Okay. What advice do you have for folks who want to who want to become an entrepreneur? What advice as a successful young entrepreneur? What advice will you have for folks? Who say, "Man, I want to start a business, but I don't know where, I don't know how."
First, I would say you have to have a clear vision. I'm a Christian, and I think it's Habakkuk, some kind of scriptures like write the vision down and make it plain.
Sure.
Because a lot of people want to do things, but they don't know, they don't have a clear vision. You have
Okay.
to have you have to have your goals written down. That's the
Sure.
first step to anything. Because
Sure.
once you have your goals written down,
Mhm.
your brain or God have to find a way to make that work for you
Okay.
because now it's there. It's written. It's evidence. Okay, I have this thing. It's there.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, God or whoever you serve,
Sure.
how can you make this work for me? How can
Okay.
I work to make so it's all that's the first step, having a clear understanding of where you want to be. And the whole
Hmm.
thing with business, you always have to find a product or service that solve a problem. You can just say, okay, I want to be a business owner. The first question is what product services or what problem am I going to solve? So once you can answer those questions, you can first you write it down. Okay, this is what I want to do, but how does my goal or how does this vision help another person or just
Okay.
help the world in general? Because that's why a lot of people feel because somebody is like, I want to go and open a boutique in North Town Mall. I'm very
Yeah.
passionate about this.
Sure.
Passion doesn't always take you through business.
Sure.
It has to make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to do a boutique, but how many people are already shopping in North Town Mall for boutique? Like
Hmm.
everyone can be and everyone they're all
Hmm.
buying online.
Yeah.
You don't have any social media present. So
Sure.
how are you gonna make this work? You take all this money from the bank and now you have this big store and it's barely making you anything.
Okay. Okay.
So
So obviously, what you're saying here, right? Don't just say, "Hey, man, I have passion to open a boutique," but you have a clear plan and try to execute that plan. Now, have you had like mentors or I know you're a coach, but have you had others that have helped you along your business or entrepreneurial journey?
yeah, I do. I've always tried to surround myself with people, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons I network heavily.
Okay.
Because when I put myself out there, it's always putting me in a space to meet people who are at the place where I want to be.
Sure.
And then I build this relationship where they inspire me and I look up to them and I go to them for advice and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So you think like for aspiring entrepreneurs, you will encourage networking heavily, right?
Yeah, because business in life in general, anything is about relationship
Okay.
and it's about those people who are in your corner. They will
Hmm.
help they will make or break you. So you have to have the right people because a lot of the times your families will not will not understand you
Sure.
and they will
Okay.
discourage you. They will even kill the dream before it's even alive. So
Yeah.
you have to find someone will understand where you're coming from and where you want to go. That way they pour into you, to speak life into you. Even when you don't see it, they see it for you, to see the vision for you.
Okay.
So yeah.
That seems to be a commonality though in our community, right? As Liberians, once you decide to do something, you think you're gonna make that thing that's too big for you, or or you can make it. Have you had those
Especially your
moments?
family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had that a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm a very stubborn and strong person, but I don't care about your opinion. Like, say what you want. I don't know if I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway. So,
Okay.
but now a lot of people have that mindset. So that's why it's always good to surround yourself with people who will help you see that.
hmm I mean, with the whole mindset, right? Like you talk about your coaching earlier with the whole mindset. I think that's something that's really, really needed in our community, right? It's like that whole,
Yeah.
it's like just changing that mindset because sometimes if you want to say, hey, I want to establish a business, you have folks there. You think you can do that? I mean, as a real estate agent or financial advisor, you tell person I'm a financial advisor. Maybe the first thing they will tell you, who are you to be a financial advisor? Do you think you can even do that?
Exactly, exactly. I experience the same thing, and people will be like, sometimes like when I have those meetings and stuff, it'd be like, "Are you Liberian?" I'm like, "Yeah." And you see the shock in their face, and it's like,
Yeah.
how you do this? Like, you know.
How is a Liberian female a financial advisor, right?
Yeah, like how, like we really need to work on our mindset a lot, like because a lot of people like they don't see themselves like doing certain things. I see that a lot with a lot of like young Liberian people,
hmm
and it's
hmm
like I'm afraid to talk to this person maybe because they're white or
Yeah.
because they're from a different background. It's like you have to have confidence. It plays a big role in business. Like
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
when I walk in these rooms, it's like
hmm
multi-millionaires, and
hmm
I'm just one Liberian girl, the only one in the room. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
but I don't care. Like, I'm here. Like, I don't care about your millions. I'm gonna be there too. So
Yeah. I want to get to your millions or surpass you, right? Or go above
yes,
you. So I don't care.
exactly. Well, a lot of
Yes.
people have to see themselves there before they even get there, and a
Okay.
lot of people don't have that. Your
Okay.
mindset plays a big role.
Okay. I think someone is interested. One of our guests here our audience is interested in your real estate venture, right? So they want to know for those interested in venturing into acquiring real estate or brokerage license, what path would you advise them to take? Do you care to share the various process or steps for real estate?
It's really simple. They have a lot of real estate schools here in Minnesota. When I
hmm
wanted to get my license, I just Google.
Okay.
Honestly, I just
Okay.
Google and I came across this one school in St. Paul. And
Okay.
the reason why I picked that school because I could do 100% online, so I
Okay.
didn't have to go in person, and that's what I did. And then once you do that, of course, you have to sit for the exam.
hmm
So I took the exam, I passed it, and then after you pass the exam, then you will use that paper and find yourself or a broker. So you just call different places. I interview with different one, and the one I feel like was the best fit for me was the one I went with.
So once you get your license, though, can't you practice? Can't you do on your own? You have to be with a brokerage.
You have to be, yeah. You cannot. The only way you can practice is on your own, except you are a brokerage. But you
Um,
have to spend 5 years in business to even get that.
so once you get your license, you have to spend 5 years working
Yeah,
with a brokerage before you can acquire your own brokerage license.
yeah. You can go and study, and it's a whole different exam too.
Oh, okay. So
Yes, you have to.
the real estate license, that's the first step. Now, if I want to get a brokerage license, that's another step.
That's another step. It's a whole different step and
Okay.
different requirements.
Okay. How
Yeah.
long if someone looking to get a both real estate license and then maybe get a brokerage license and become their own broker? How long is that whole process?
So when you get your real estate sales license,
hmm
you work under a brokerage who is like they hold your license for you to help you be in compliance with commerce and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then every year you have to renew the license. And then after 5 years,
hmm
when you want to be your own broker or your own have your own brokerage, you
hmm
go and study for that exam.
hmm
Once you pass that exam,
Yeah.
and then you can apply for your broker's license, which is completely different from your residential or sales license.
Okay.
But it has to be 5 years before you can even apply for that.
Okay. Okay. Are
Yeah.
you do you have your I mean do you have your brokerage license or do you have your real estate license?
That's the reason I said because I haven't been in business for 5 years. I think I've had my license for like 2 years now, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. But I don't think I even want to do that. It's a lot of work.
Why? Why don't you want to go that route? Why?
It's expensive if you're not bringing a certain number of sales a year, you're basically losing money.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably get a brokerage license and then maybe like create a pipeline for a lot of Liberians, maybe who want to go that route.
Yeah.
Once they acquire that business, their real estate license, they could work under
Hmm.
you until they can, just to
Yeah.
maintain that. I mean, just to maintain their license.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But the reason why I haven't been focusing on that because it's just like I have so many other things that
Okay.
my focus is on. Real estate is something I just do part time. It's not like a full time thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the main reasons I got into that because I want to really start investing heavily in real estate.
Okay.
So it's not like something I do as a full time career.
Why do you want to invest in real estate? Why? What's the
Because
rationale?
for business owners, it's just a good way to save your money instead of having it in the bank, just having
Okay.
that money work for you, and it comes with a lot of tax benefits for business owners as well.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
folks, if you're just joining us today, we are talking to a young entrepreneur here, right here in our Liberian community, young female entrepreneur. She's doing a lot of things. She has she does marketing. If you have a business and struggling with marketing, she does business consultancy. She can help you with business planning. She have an ebook coming up, hopefully next month. And then also, if you into healthcare, she can also help you with that. So a lot of things she's got going on. So if you want to join the discussion tonight, you can post a comment in the chat, or you can call us. You can call us live and contribute to this conversation and ask her any question you want to ask. She's very, very knowledgeable. She's a financial advisor. Maybe you're thinking about investing in the stock market, want to do 401k, want to do whatever investment thing you want to do. Okay, she's here. Our number is 612-516-3349. So with your ebook coming up, what message are you trying to send out there with that ebook?
So what message is trying to
Yeah,
say?
I mean, it's like what it is that you what it is that you're trying to accomplish with that.
So that book is basically for people looking to get in the home healthcare space. That's yeah, for people looking to get in that space. And then the business funding part is just an extra piece. Like, okay, I want to do this business, but I don't know how to
Okay.
raise money, or I don't know how to get the money.
So it like that aspect of it, the funding part, it teaches them it's like it tells them how to go about the funding aspect for any business,
Mhm.
or just for healthcare.
Well, that book would be for any business,
Okay.
but the other two healthcare book is specifically for people looking to get into the home healthcare space. Maybe you start an assisted living or start any of the other services that's
Mhm.
available through DHS.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said what is it? Do you have an exact date? I know you said it's coming up next month. Do you have an exact date that folks gonna be looking forward to it, or not yet? Or you still trying to finalize that?
Not yet. I will let you know once I
Okay,
find
okay,
out
that's good.
that.
Well, once you have the data, let us know so we can definitely help you to promote that book. Let it go forward. And things like that. So, one of the
Okay.
thing I want to throughout your entrepreneurship journey, throughout your business journey,
Hmm.
what it is you will like. What is the one piece of advice you will give someone? You know what? Hey, man, I want to become an entrepreneur like you. I want to get into so many ventures. What would be
Hmm.
the one piece of advice you give someone who's thinking like you or who want to be like you?
It's hard.
Okay.
You will feel a lot of times. Like you will feel, and sometimes you're in doubt yourself. You question yourself. But I feel like the key to anything is consistency.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is being consistent, and even if you feel like you're feeling and you feel like it's not making sense, just because it's not making sense right now doesn't mean it's not going to make sense later. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's just it's just grounding and being laser focused on what you want, and just keep at it, just keep at it, and eventually it's going to make sense.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, right? One of the things we struggle in our community is the failure. Sometimes we feel that because, especially in this social media age, right? Once you fail, oh no, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to that?
Well, sorry, ask the question.
Because like you said like I asked you, right? Like what would be your one piece of advice you talk about? It's like you have to go at it. You have to keep going at it, whether you feel or not. As I said,
Mhm.
right? In our community as Liberians, even like as immigrants, sometimes when we fail, we just it's like we don't want to try anymore. What would you
Oh,
say
yeah.
to those folks, who consider failure as one and done?
Failure in business. That's why I'm like, it's always starting with your mindset. It's always use your mindset because as a business owner, you don't look at failure from a negative standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
You look at it, okay, what can I learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
What can I change? And sometimes we may have a certain idea. Not every idea is going to work. We should learn to pivot and
Mm-hmm.
change when things is not working.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just and failure. Failure is always an option. You're gonna fail a lot of times, but then if you're failing, the lesson should be what am I learning from these failures that I can change to help me be a better business person? Or is this business even the right business for me? Because not every business will work.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
tried a lot of businesses, like a lot, a
Okay.
lot,
How many
and I
times
had
have you
to
how
learn.
many times have you failed?
It's uncountable, and I had to learn
Uh,
when to quit. And
yeah.
that's another thing. You have to learn when to quit. Just because you
Okay.
quit doesn't mean you're weak, but you
Okay.
just have to learn that this is not working. Let me find something else that's going to work. And not everything works for everybody. You
Yeah.
have to find something that you were good at.
Okay. So you have to pivot once something's not working for you. Have that
Yeah,
grace, right? So you know what, it's not working, and then pivot to something maybe that might
something.
work. Uh,
Yeah, sometimes it's something very, very similar to what you were doing before.
Sure.
Or most of the time it's something very, very similar. And that's why you need to have people around you, because sometimes if it's not working, you
Mhm.
alone cannot do it. And then you call your mentor and be like, okay, this is not working. How can I change? And if you change it's still not working, what can
Mhm.
I do differently? Or is there something else I can get into since
Sure.
this isn't working?
Okay. Well, one of our audience here would like to know if you like, she's getting some great insight from you, great information from you. She would like to know if you would like to maybe share your information, whatever. Like, do you have a business card that we can share with, our audience here? It's like folks are learning a lot from me here this evening. So,
Um,
we can definitely share that later.
I
We can
can
put it in
send
the
you a digital business card that you can
definitely.
maybe put on your
Yeah, yeah,
website
yeah,
or your
yeah,
Facebook
yeah. That
page.
we can upload. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can upload. So you should send me that, and then we can upload it. So, Princess,
Okay.
you will be getting that information from Miss Jory. She's providing some good information here today. And then Princess is also kind of encouraging you, right? Like what you said earlier, like entrepreneurship is not for the weak. You gotta be strong to, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, to hit this running. So we got about 18 minutes here, keep having the discussion. It's great. Folks, if you're
Okay.
just joining us, this is our weekly business and finance chat. And this platform is here to highlight folks like Miss Joey who are doing great things in our community. She got a lot of things going on. She has an ebook coming up. She's a business consultant. If you want to establish your business and struggling as immigrants, we struggle with those things, mentorship, allyship, networking is very important. Sometimes we like to go outside of our community to network, but we have resources right here. To me, I think you're a great resource. Okay, I think we should reach out to you, folks who are trying to establish business or need some kind of a funding mechanism, right? To learn how to fund their business. I think they should reach out to you. It's like we need all kind of things in our community. We don't have that a lot. I feel like we don't have like successful entrepreneurs like you a lot in our community. There's all these, it's always this social media drama, you know what I mean, and things like that, right? So many
Just-
other drama going on and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think so the purpose of this weekly business and finance chat, every weekend fire chat as we call it, is to highlight folks like you. So we really, really appreciate you coming on here this evening, sharing your
Thank you.
knowledge, sharing your ideas. I think that's great. I think like we should my encouragement to you, you need you need to help our community. We need folks like you. We need a
Okay.
financial advisor because I think right, from my own personal vantage point or my own personal experience, right, financial education we might all overlook it, but it's a very, very important piece of life.
It is very important, and it's sad because just working in that role helped me see the gap
Mhm.
when it comes to wealth
Yeah.
in this country.
Mhm.
And it's sad. Like these these Caucasian people, man. I'm not saying every one of them, because there is always a bad apple. Not every
Yeah.
single white person is doing great in America. Let's
For
just
sure.
say that. But
Yeah.
a lot of them plan. These people
Mhm.
plan for the kids' birthday. They plan for the kids' wedding.
Yeah.
They plan for the kids' college. They even plan for their kids' death. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
And the plan, and it's like, because one of the guys that I worked with,
Hmm.
he's telling me, he's like, I'm not even living off of my income. I'm living off of income my grandparents left me.
Oh wow. Generational wealth. That's what we don't have. I mean, we don't have generational wealth
You
in
don't
our
even
community.
this dude make over I don't know how many $1 million a year, and he don't even touch his income.
Yeah.
Whatever his family left him, his grandparents gifted him through or trust or whatever,
Yeah.
that's what he's living on. Now all of that money, his money, is just
Mhm.
gonna go over to his kids.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's training his kids to what? To eventually take over and keep it going, keep it going, and keep it going. As soon as those babies are born, really before the babies are even born, they're already investing for them.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So they put themselves in the positions where they have wealth, they have power, and we don't have those things.
Mhm.
And I feel like
Mhm.
that's why a lot of us struggle because we don't, our parents didn't plan for us, and then we get in the position we don't even plan for our own kids. So it's like,
So it's like I like to say, right? We're born in deficit. We keep living in deficit. We leave our kids in deficit, right? Instead of building,
it's,
well, it's
it's
just
just
a
a
we are
bad
living in
circle.
generational deficit,
It's just
throughout our
going.
journey, right?
And it's sad thing that when I used to talk to some Liberians, they're like, my dad didn't leave me a life insurance. Why would I want to leave life insurance for my child?
Mhm.
I'm like, why would you even want to say that?
Yeah.
It's like, and they have this mindset where they feel like it's gonna make the child lazy,
Yeah.
and that's not true.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
because you help your child to make their life better, it's not making them lazy.
Sure. Sure.
These people do it all the time, and their kids are not lazy. Their kids are doing well. Their kids are CEOs. They grow up to be great like their parents.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I mean, it's like the whole life insurance thing, right? I think it's something that's very sad for our community. You have folks who have worked here all their lives, they don't even have life insurance, and then when they die, the community we have to come together to collect
And
money to bury them.
yep,
I mean, that's that aspect of it to me is so sad. We should definitely work on that, and I think that's why we need folks like you in the community advising folks. Number one, life insurance is very important. Whether through your job or buying extra is very very important. Don't underestimate that because tomorrow you might not be leaving it for the kids. It might benefit you tomorrow. Yeah, you know what I mean. So we got 13 minutes left here, folks. If you want to join us tonight, this evening we have Miss Joey discussing her entrepreneurship journey, how far she have come, what it is she's doing. She got an ebook coming up. She can help you contract with somebody to write a business plan, anything in terms of business, financial advising. If you have a job, you want to invest in your 401k, she can help you in that realm as well. So please leave a comment here or you can call us on our phone number and you want to contribute, ask her any questions. She's available to provide good insight. So with that, with the few minutes we have left, what do you have any other venture beside the ebook? Do you have anything else in the pipeline? I know you are a hustler, right? I call folks like you a hustler. You got so many things going on. Do you have anything in the pipeline?
I'm working on other services that I want to start your soon. But it's
Okay.
just so right now I'm just trying to narrow down and just basically niche down in the home healthcare realm.
Okay.
That's where my focus is at because there's so many services available
Okay.
that I could offer, and
Hmm.
there are needs for these services. Those that's been my primary focus, honestly. So
Why do
just
you why do you want to focus on home on healthcare basically?
there's a need for the mental health crisis in Minnesota is
Okay.
there's a need for it,
Okay.
and there's a need for drugs. This Minnesota have a huge drugs problem, a huge mental health problem, and
Hmm.
moreover, people are aging fast every day. Like there's a need, so it's like okay, there are need for these services in Minnesota, and
Sure.
honestly, it's one of those few places or those few businesses where an immigrant like myself can succeed.
Okay.
If I'm
Okay.
being honest.
So the barrier to entry, right, in healthcare, is it lower? Is it harder? If I want to help, I know you got an ebook coming up, right? To kind of maybe educate folks on that. But is the barrier to entry for immigrant is that easier compared to other ventures, other businesses?
I would say yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because the thing is, if you look at our Liberian community, it's like
Hmm.
we own this industry, honestly, in Minnesota. If a lot of
But isn't
Liberians,
there isn't there like a lot of competition though? I mean, every like Liberian trying to get into that space. Isn't there like a lot of competition there?
there's a lot of competition. However, you have to find what sets you apart from everybody else. As I said, everybody wants to do business. Not everybody know how to do business.
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know you provided information earlier, but John would like to know is like how much do you charge for your consultation? If you can just, I don't want it coming from me, but just coming from him. He would like to know how much do you charge for for your consultant piece.
Oh, I sell 1,500 to 5,000,
Okay,
depending on what you want. Yeah.
okay. What does the 5,000 come with?
So that's basically helping somebody start a service or a business,
Hmm.
because I'm gonna be like walking you through the step, providing with policies and procedures and stuff like that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then like, do you consult for any business or specific business, or like, if I want to start a maybe like a grocery store,
Okay.
do you provide consultation for that?
I could, but that's not my area of expertise. I can give you like the basic on how to start it, and I could do my own research, the market research, and do the work for you and tell you what's needed.
Okay.
But I've never done anything with food, but I can definitely help you get
What's
started.
what's your specific area of expertise in terms of the business consultation?
Right now I would say the home health care,
Okay.
business funding, and then just like overall mindset coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, just like helping people.
Mindset coaching. Can you expand on that a little bit? And is that okay? Someone listening here, okay, like Alabama say mindset coaching. What is she talking about?
Oh my God. So when I say mindset, because I feel I explained it earlier, a lot of people want to do things,
Mhm,
but their belief system is holding them back because they don't feel like they are capable,
mhm,
or they don't feel like they have it to do it. But
mhm,
even though they have everything in them to do it, so it's me not coming in as a mindset coach, helping you move past those block and telling like how can you move past these limiting beliefs that you have? How
mhm,
can you move past all these negative mindset, and how can
mhm.
you helping you see your vision clearer and helping you tone it down and help you bring it to life?
Okay. With that mindset piece, so if that for that mindset coaching, is that where is the price range for that? Would I if I just want a mindset change, right? I say, hey man, I want to get into business. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. But maybe I'm doubting myself and I say, hey, I need coaching. How much will you charge me for that?
I must do that one hourly. It's like
Okay.
150 an hour.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because that's why it's not package based. It's just like as needed.
Price needed. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sorry. This is why I keep.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Don't worry about that. No one is saying that. So it's been a great discussion here tonight. Obviously, as a young entrepreneur, you are very inspiring, right? To me, like everything you're doing, your ebook coming up, I think it's going to be a good resource for folks to reference, to refer to. Your business consultation. I think if someone want to establish your business, because I think what we don't really utilize in our community, we don't tap into the resources we have, and because we don't know it, it's like we're always reaching out to other folks outside of our community for help. So it's
Mm,
like, as you said, it's like, so providing kind of services, I think you should definitely send us your e-card so we can share with our audience, for folks who want to tap into you, who want to learn from you, because we need to learn from each other. That's the only way. To me, I feel like, like what separates the Caucasian from us, I think they do it by like an army, right? They all do it together. For us, we have the individual mindset. Hey, I have my healthcare business. I don't want anyone else to get into it. We need to change
mhm,
that, right? We need to help one another. We need to lift one another. If we want to build
mhm,
generational wealth, I think we need to do it together as a team. We don't have
mhm,
teamwork in our community. It's all like individuals. I want
mhm.
to do business. I don't want nobody else to be successful. Is that
That's
kind of a
true.
crab? Is that kind of a
That-
crab mentality, right? Hey, I want to be a millionaire. Only Abraham Kamara should be a millionaire. No one else.
Yeah.
What you got to say to that?
Yeah, that's very, very prevalent in our Liberian community. Like it's sad. But I feel like one of the reasons too, like when you come to this country, if you don't interact with African Americans,
Hmm.
if you just go based on what the media portrayed,
Hmm.
you would judge every African American person you meet.
Yes. Yeah.
They're at this, they're
Yeah.
at that,
Yeah.
they all the narrative, all the other things.
Sure.
And I feel like in Minnesotans in Liberia, we
Hmm.
have that
Yeah.
stereotype.
Okay.
We have it very heavily from Minnesotans in Liberia. So a lot of the times, what I've noticed, successful Liberians,
Yeah.
they don't want to be attached to that.
Okay. So do you think, like, especially in our community, right? Is the I call it like the noise. I have experienced that when I travel. I call it the noisy minority. Is it, oh, you're who from that Minnesota there, you're that Broken Park there, your X, Y, and Z. Is it like the noisy minority overshadowing what
It
like folks like
overshadowing.
you, what like folks like you are doing in this community? Is it?
It definitely overshadowed the good.
Yeah.
And I meet a lot of great Liberians all the time.
Mhm.
As soon as they taste success, they're going to move to 30 an hour away from Brooklyn Park. They don't want to be associated with Brooklyn Park
Yeah.
because why? They don't want to be associated with those stereotypes. And I feel like that's one thing that's really is affecting our community because people who are successful, who can be of help to the community, don't want to be tied or associated to the stereotypes that tied to the Liberians in Minnesota. And because
What do we need to do to change that? I mean, I encouraged you before, right? Like, as a financial advisor, you have all these. You have a financial background. I think financial literacy, right, is really needed in our community. You have, it's like you got an ebook coming up, as I keep referencing. You got so many other things going on. What can we do to change our mindset, to change our mentality, to change that the whole negativity about us here? What can we do to change it?
I feel like it's everyone's responsibility to
Mhm.
highlight the good and the
Okay.
positive and highlight these success stories and highlight these Liberians that are making an impact in our community because a lot of the times it's all the negative you see on social media. It's somebody fighting for somebody this and somebody causing somebody this. Is those things that are highlighted. So I
Sure.
feel like we need to focus more on highlighting because the more we highlight the positive, the more
Mhm.
we change the narrative. If we're
Okay.
not highlighting the positive and people always see the negative,
Yeah.
they're not gonna know we're doing good. Because honestly, like, and sometimes when people see this, because I'm not in these spaces, I'm not surrounded by these things.
Yeah.
Almost all of my Liberian friends, they are successful, they are doing good. So I'm like, I don't see that. I'm like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Liberians y'all be talking about? Because I'm not around these people, but it's like people on social media, maybe somebody sitting in Maryland or Philadelphia, they're seeing these lives. They think
Yeah.
every Liberian in Minnesota is that way. However, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have all of these good people, but it's not being highlighted.
We have successful entrepreneurs like you. You have
Yeah.
successful business people like you. So many of them in our community, right? But again, right, I one of the things we establish this medium in this platform for to highlight, to me, is like that's my passion, to highlight successful Liberians, to highlight entrepreneurs, to highlight the job creators. I say that to highlight to producers like you are a producer. You are not just a consumer, as I keep saying. Right, one time someone told me, "Oh, Liberians spend X, Y, and Z amount in our in Minnesota." What does that tell me? It doesn't tell me anything. We need
Mhm.
producers like you in our community, folks that are providing jobs, they are providing expertise, they are providing mentorship, they are providing coaching. We need those things to elevate this community, to elevate Liberians. We need those. And to me, it's a passion of this platform. It's a passion of Inner Cycle. Those I think we want to do. So that's why, like, we want to, like, every Friday we're starting with Vera to bring folks like you on to highlight these initiatives, to highlight your story, to tell other folks how can you, if you want to establish your business, how can you get started? These are the X, Y, and Z. These are the steps. This is how I got started. Like you mentioned before, how you got started. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I think that is very, very important. I agree with you. It's too much negative energy in the community. And then when you go on Facebook, hey man, only man with one business.
It's terrible. Sometimes I be like Facebook, like I'm not even. How you be sending me these things? I don't even want to watch it. Like you're coming out, like it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with 1 minute left, what would be
Oh,
your closing message to all of the aspiring entrepreneurs out there, to the females, to the males, to all the immigrants out there? Someone who just come in this country, hey, Miss Julie, I want to get started like you. You're an immigrant. Your story is very inspiring. I want to get started. What's your parting message to our audience here tonight?
I'll say go for it. You are capable. You have everything. Don't let your accent limit you, because a lot of time Liberians they don't. I'm not. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
Like you have everything to make it work. Just figure out what you want to do, because you never know what life you might impact in the future, and
Okay.
just go to work and do it and get it done.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that's right there is right. Like, just like you. I mean, I've been here for a while now, but I have never lost my Liberian accent. I think it's unique, right? I work in corporate America for a long time, but you have to be unique. You have to keep that in, and don't let it fear you, right? Is that sometimes, hey, I
Mhm.
have an accent. I mean, to your point, right? Your message here today to me is great. Don't let it don't let it keep you don't let it hold you back. Keep going at it. If you got an idea, get started. So it's like, thank you so much, Miss Joey, for having you on here. We hope you can come back sometimes. Once you launch your ebook, though, right, we'd like to have you back to share more about it. Maybe like
Okay.
it's not a time now to go depth into it, but once you launch that, we'll
Mhm.
like to have you back to discuss more about it. But it was good having you on this evening, just sharing your ideas. I think a lot of folks out there listening to you really, really learn a lot from you. So really, really appreciate it. And thanks so much for coming on. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.